Nikki, you are an inspiration to a lot of us in every sense. As a person, as a human being, as a motivator, as an influencer, as a physical transformation also. I would love to understand how did the social media world and how did your journey of being an influencer start?
I was someone who was super duper particular about having a page on private. I would think that showing my life publicly was absolutely no go. In 2016, I kind of, left my job and I would always get people asking me, where can we go if we want to do this? And where can we go if we want to do that? Oh, I want to host a baby shower. I want to do this. And I think like I was the go-to person because one of the key things that I wanted to do in life was to be the first one to try anything new. So I'm like, hey, why don't I start talking about it? And initially, like in 2016, my plan was to talk about the it places to go to, okay, from a food perspective, from a party enjoyment perspective. And I still remember in 2016, I made my page public and I'm like, oh my God. And then I just started posting about different things. I posted about food, I posted about fashion, I posted about beauty, I posted about cool things happening. And the only thing, or the thing that most resonated with people was fashion, because I spoke about plus size fashion. Back then, I think I was anywhere between size, 16 to 18, and not many people were showing off their fat and fabulous self at the time. So that really picked on, and that's how I kind of put plus size blogger in my bio then. And that's how the journey of influencing, if you may want to say, started.
So, from influencing to hiring influencers, how did Buy Niggi come into being?
Buy Nikki is my baby. It's my business. We started off as an influencer marketing agency. To give you a little context of my career, I've been in the industry of PR and communication since my very first internship. Now, when you say words like PR, the first thing that comes to your mind is traditional media, which is newspapers, radio, etc. However, when I was in my job, I saw this beautiful transition through 2013 to 2016, which is where the focus of brands was really moving from traditional media to working with influencers. That's also because eyeballs and traffic and consumers and viewership was going towards, social media. And I just found my interest, there. And I think I just developed way better connections with influencers versus, let's say, journalists. And that's how one project, two project, etc. Like it just rolled on, and that's how I kind of founded Buy Niggi, which is I was doing so much work when I was constantly hiring influencers for brands or curating events for smaller brands where influencers were invited. That it led to the birth of my baby, my Buy Niggi.
So, how old is your baby now? How many years
Wow,
now?
when you put it like that, 5 years and 6 months.
Oh, brilliant. So, 5.5 years of Buy Niggi. Yes. When you started, what were the challenges you faced?
I think figuring it all out, right? Because I started off in a very strange way. I started off because VAT came into place and I had to kind of legalize and formalize, the company. And that's how I started, even though I was doing, all of it anyway before. But I'm so glad that I got that push to kind of put the papers in. Otherwise, you will never feel like you're ready. Right. So yeah, that's how it started. And I think my challenges were definitely like age.
Did people tell you you're too young? Why would we hire you, right?
Why would you know? Like, what would you know? So I got that a bit from a few people. I think that could be a bit of a challenge. And I definitely think in the early on years of Buy Niggi was finding the right people. My first few people were phenomenal. Like, they were incredible. Like, phenomenal. Like, the first 2-3 team members I had. But I think over the course of, my year 3, I think figuring it all out when it's getting a little bigger and like, do I need to get an office? Like, do I need to hire a 4th person? Am I hiring people? Is this a company? I think kind of getting a sense of that and going with the flow and taking those decisions when you need to, right? I think that was a bit challenging, but there's opportunity there if you ask me.
How big is Buy Niggi? What's your team
We're
like?
a team of about 20. I want to say 20 to 22.
Amazing. Starting from only Niggi to a team of 20 plus.
Yes.